Hey, this is the second video segment that I'm making regarding the issue of Sketcher and the options that you got in it. The first one, I talked about the first icon in the Sketcher, which is the default sliding Sketcher, okay? And although a lot of people use it, and particularly when initially you're introduced to Catia, this is probably the only one that you're using. But it's got certain limitations, and I already explained the context of an example. Why is this thing, which is the default Sketcher, is called sliding? It has sliding features. Okay. Now, there is something else that I wanted to show you. If you decide to use this or use position sketch but with the sliding option, let me actually go ahead and go to this position sketch. Click on it, and then okay. Notice that the three options that you got are uh, position and sliding. Later on, we will see that after we make it, it is possible to do few things with it, and the third one is called isolated. But right now, position and sliding. Let me choose the sliding for now. Okay, when you're choosing sliding, then there is very little choice that you've got here. You cannot change, so you cannot select the origin, you cannot select the orientation, but you can select the reference plane. For example, XY, XZ, YZ, or any other plane that you may have created. So for now, let me do this. Let me select, for example, the XZ plane here. No problem. You close it, and then what it did, it created a horizontal and vertical yellow axis right at the global origin of my part. Okay, this is the global 000. So let's make a part, let's make something here. So say a rectangle like that, and exit and pad it. Okay, let me pad it in the other direction so it doesn't block my view. Now select another plane right there, or click on the position sketch and select sliding. Okay, now select the horizontal plane and draw something in it. So something like this. Once again, it put that yellow horizontal and vertical axis right at the global origin. So pad this. Okay, very good. Okay, so now I'm going to do another sketch. Again, you click on position sketch, but choose sliding and select this slanted face. Okay, remember the global origin is right there where these three planes meet. So you click on it, and notice what it did. It actually placed the coordinate system for me at the global origin. We'll see right there. You see that? Once again, it was placed at the global origin, which is not very convenient, incidentally. So here, let's try something else. On a let's draw a sketch here. It really doesn't matter which one we use. We use sliding. Okay, all right, and I'm gonna move this thing. Way out of whack, so somewhere, let's say there, I draw a rectangle. Exit, and let me go back here. You see, when I try to draw this rectangle, it still put the global origin, the local one, the yellow one, at the global origin, which is not very convenient. So that's one issue with the sliding option, which is, by the way, the default if you use even the first sketch. Okay, So let's see what this other one. So let me make a path here, by the way. It really doesn't matter, but why not make a path? Okay, fine. All right. So now let us use this guy once again, but do not use the sliding option. Use the position option. Now notice that when you select the position option, you have a bunch of things that you can select. First of all, you select the reference. Let's say I want to draw my sketch on this face, on this face. Now, if I do not choose the origin, it's going to put it at the global origin, but that's going to defeat the purpose. So I'm going to change that thing to, I want to select a point. Now the default is part origin, which is exactly where you see it is, right there. I don't want that. So I want a point, for example. I want this point. But keep in mind that this point is not on that sketch. It belongs to that part. This is why you cannot use the, there is no point there. You have to select it, and it's going to take that and project it into the plane that you want. So yeah, sure, you say projection point, and then you select this, or that, or that, any point that lies on that face. So, for example, right there. Notice that the origin is now placed at that location. This is the origin, local origin for sketching purposes. Now, you also have the option of selecting the orientation of H and V. They don't have to be lined up with the X and Y. For example, if I want to make this horizontal axis go through a point, this point, I say through point, and I select this point. Notice that it tilted it so that it goes through this point. You can swap the directions of U and V axis. So for example, horizontal and vertical axis. So notice that V is swapped, U is swapped, or H is swapped, and both of them, see, this time this is V and that is U. Okay, so let's uncheck that, and let me select, for example, H to go this way. Let me see, you have to uncheck that, okay, and flip H and flip V. Okay, so H goes this way, V goes up. When I'm happy, I just close it. And notice that now we don't no longer work with the global origin, which is over here. We work with this point, the projection of that point on that gray surface. And then, for example, I can draw something here, or I don't know, maybe there, or maybe put this thing at that location. Where is that? This, control that, make it coincident. Where is constraints coincident? Okay, and exit, and there we are. Okay, so position sketch gives you a lot of flexibility when it comes to making an object. Now, making a sketch. If you go here, for example, look at that fifth sketch. Fifth sketch is that circle that I drew here, right? Is that circle that I drew here. Now, let's say that I want to change the support of this thing, and I want to put it on that face. Okay? On that face. All right. So what it did, it took that circle, and placed that circle, which was on this face here, on the slanted face, on the face that is selected. Okay. Now let's see. Can we choose a different origin? For example, projection point, this point. You see? Now it moves it there. And for the same thing for the axis, you can change it if you want to. There we are. See how useful this thing is? Let's do another one. Let's say that we take this sketch. I don't know where it is. Let me see. Where's the sketch? Hide and show. Oh yeah, it's this guy over here. And I'm going to change the support of this. Okay. Positioned. Okay, so we're going to position it on this face. Okay, you see, and I want to change an origin, which is say a middle point between this point and that point. Sorry, I selected the middle point of an edge. So let me select different things. So middle point of this edge. Yep, puts it right there. Or I can say, for example, through point, or any other feature that I want here. For example, if I go through point, through this point, which one did I do? Okay, middle point, right. So this is not what I want. So origin is projection point of this point, for example. There we are. And the orientation, I don't know, the orientation, just say implicit. Implicit means that you decide for me, okay? Or maybe I want to select it. So, for example, through point, and this one is going to take that and rotate it, okay? Okay, and there we are. Position sketch is very useful, and I think this clearly explains the reason for that. You can switch a position sketch to sliding or a sliding to position, and you have a lot of flexibility in that. The last thing to do is to talk about the sliding. When you try to change support, so if you look at this, now you have position, sliding, and finally you have isolated here. I'll talk about isolated in the next video segment.